What's up, you guys? You all know that I'm super bullish in the long term on DeFi, Ohm forks, yield farming, and crypto in general. But we all know that the bear market is going to come along pretty soon. And for a lot of people, the music's going to stop. Am I making any predictions here? No. I'm not an analyst, a forecaster, an economist of any kind. I'm not even that great at technical analysis or any of that stuff. I'm just a degenerate ape that likes the DeFi. Okay. So, an important thing before you watch this video is to just understand that I'm not making any predictions and I'm just basically checking out charts and looking at stuff. I'm in Discord seeing trends happen. And there's a lot of talk. I've started noticing over the last few days a lot of chatter in the Discords and Twitter about an incoming potential bear market, and especially on these different, rebasing tokens like like Ohm, and all the various forks that have been spawned. Are we entering some kind of mini DeFi downtrend for a lot of these projects? But before I go any further, the financial disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor, okay? So everything that you see on this channel is for educational purpose. Always do your own research, right? Ape responsibly. Never put in more money than you can afford to lose, especially with everything that I talk about on this channel. All super risky. As far as I'm concerned, don't buy anything that I talk about. And frankly, I honestly could care less. I'm not here to shill any project or get anybody out there to buy anything. I'm just interested in this stuff. Just a dude in a leather jacket that likes to make videos about this stuff for his dungeon family. Before I jump into the full spiel, the full deal, what exactly is going on? A lot of chatter in the Ohm Discord and other Discords and other forums about potentially a downturn that we're looking at. You can see on the chart that we've definitely been having a number of lower highs, suggesting some sort of downturn. The last time this happened to Ohm, back here in April when it spiked, it just carved downwards for a while, grinded back up, you know, basically did a 70% downturn here before coming back up. Is that going to happen again? I don't know. Okay. But if you look across a lot of these charts, like if you look at Wonderland, same sort of local downturn right here. We can see that we definitely topped out around November, kind of jumped back up, and now we've been grinding down again. Maybe the music will just go forever, and we'll just party with the degen apes in the dungeon forever. I don't know. Not the point of this video, but we are going to talk a little bit more about, maybe potential ways that we can reduce our risk. We all want this to go forever, but we have to also be realistic. Now, if I look at Rome, this is like a brand new protocol. You can't really do much analysis on a brand new chart like this. There's not a lot that I can read from this. It's brand new. These things always launch. They go crazy. People FOMO in, and then people who are heavily invested start to make insane profits, and they start to exit in those early days, and then it starts to grind down. Paper hands leave, the diamond hands hang, the real degens start to FOMO back in, and you can definitely see that even with Rome, with a ton of hype around that launch, 30,000 in the Discord. We got wrecked in the early days when that contract, when nobody could approve their AROM to Rome, got absolutely wrecked, and have just been grinding down here on a trend. Just a few days ago, we were at 1,500, and now we're in the 750, so 50% drop. Again, I'm not drawing correlations here. I don't want anybody to take that away from this video. I'm not saying all these things are mapped together somehow, and that therefore we're going into a huge downturn, right? But it's important just to kind of look at the broader context here. So Bitcoin, always the market leader, followed by ETH, kind of pulls things up, drags things down, right? This bull market has really started crushing it late last year, and just the real pump just started happening late November, December of last year. So we've been, this has been going on. this so-called bull market has been going on for almost a full year. Some people might say more, some people might say a little bit less. But I look at it, and I kind of look at it starting right around here, like right around late October, November of last year. And if you pay attention, the thing that's on everybody's mind, right, who's into these into Olympus DAO and into the forks, is how are these rebasing tokens going to perform like a long grind downwards like we saw after 2017? And the real answer, I think, is that nobody out there knows. I don't know. None of these other YouTubers or anybody knows, right? And the reason is simply that all of these tokens are brand new and they were born in the bull market. Olympus DAO really launching earlier this year when crypto was already crushing it. Now, and so because of that, we can't look back at how, I mean, we can certainly look back at other DeFi protocols, right? But we can't really look back at a lot of these forks, specifically if we want to try to lump them into as their own class. My guess is that many of the forks will evaporate. People will leave them to go stake in more proven yield farming strategies into stables. They'll pull out, they'll freak out, they'll paper hand into stables and potentially Olympus and Time, because those are much more proven, right? But we can look a little bit at how Olympus DAO performed during this sort of mini bear that happened in April and May. And we can see that definitely the protocol, the community, the protocol, it came back to life, right? It definitely zoomed back to life. And so hopefully that gives us a glimpse of what may be possible in the future. But really, in my mind, I don't look at it that way. I see this as a new type of asset, almost, in a way. Olympus DAO being the first, all the forks following, and we just don't have any data to look back 2, 3, 4 years to see how this is going to perform. And you'll see like a lot of people in the chats are bullish or they're bearish on these things, but I'm not going to give you those kind of predictions. I just want to make the point that we just don't, hindsight being 2020 here, we don't really have that on this type of protocol. We do know, obviously, that alts typically get pretty wrecked during bear markets. A lot of them draw down 80, 90, or even like 95 to 99%. And I do think that a lot of the forks will probably follow some of that pattern. So the price action the price is just gonna get wrecked, I think, on many of the forks. I don't know about Olympus or Time, which are obviously like the clear market leaders in this sort of class, if that's what we're gonna call it. And in the greater DeFi space, there's also a lot of other strong performers that you can look back on. And it helps to go look around and read stuff, but again, like, we can't assume that we know everything, and you should never just, I don't think, at least, that you should be taking advice from anybody on the internet about these things for a bear. We just want to kind of start thinking about it and preparing for it, because the music's not going to last here forever. It's definitely going to stop, and everybody's FOMOing into these projects. But as we're already seeing, some of them are failing, some of them are rugging, and we just don't, like, a lot of them actually are rugging, and we just don't, we don't have future vision. So, I was just poking around and seeing, because I kind of want to understand, like, what'll truly happen to Olympus DAO, Time Wonderland, and the forks during that bear market. And is it a good strategy just to 3-3 and hold all the way through? I'm not going to take anybody's advice online, but it's good to get other perspectives. So I thought that this one on Reddit was a pretty decent one. And he says, Crypto OG Kawaii, I know exactly what I'll do. There's going to be a massive drop, just like all the other cryptos and TradFi investments. It will feel like the sky is falling. Days of bleeding for everyone except those that are 100% in cash or stables, right? And definitely true. Like, I hodled through, 2018, 2019, And I had to pretty much just like put my blinders on and ignore everything that was going on with my portfolio. Only way to do it. And I was pretty young to the space then. I didn't have a lot. I didn't know how to like get into stables and do all that kind of stuff then. But look, eventually there's going to be a recovery. It may be a false recovery and it'll crash again. It'll recover, it'll crash, or blah, 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 right? Finally, after an undetermined amount of time, everyone realized, wait a minute, everything is on sale now and these projects and products are still great. I think that's very true with Olympus and Time and maybe a few of these other ones like Klima and Roam. They have solid projects that are being built, solid utilities. The devs are based. Everything is like banging with those projects. But a lot of these ones that are just direct forks, and we've spoken about them on this channel a lot too. So, again, remember to just always do your own research, right? The dude in the motorcycle jacket doesn't necessarily give financial advice, okay? But important thing is a lot of these ohm forks have no utility other than just being a cool clone with a new branding slapped on over ohm. So my guess, many of those will just evaporate, right? So get in while the getting's good, maybe, and get out if you're really starting to feel the crunch, okay? So voila, the money comes back, candles go green, everybody makes money, looks like geniuses while the greed index skyrockets. How do I know? Simple. I pulled up the chart on ohm this year, right? So that's what we just looked at. That's exactly what happened last time and what will happen this time. Ohm following the pattern I just described. May through June sucked for all cryptos. There were false recoveries, lots of sideways. And in August and September, the clouds parted and the blue skies finally came back. So we definitely did see that with Ohm. But if there's a much longer bear market, right, something that grinds on for 2 to 3 years, we just can't really predict that. It's pretty hard, I think, at this point. But I do think there's some truth to what Crypto OG Kawaii here is saying, that it's just going to grind on for much longer and wear on nerves much harder, right? That was a short bear market, but it was still a bear market. For market cycles, there's nothing new under the sun. New tech is amazing, but you can't invent away the natural market cycles. Rebase tokens that have a treasury backing may start to be seen as safe havens one day, in my opinion, due to how they're designed to weather bear markets. So that's the real kind of question that we're addressing right now. Is 3-3 a good strategy for the bear market? Some will tell you yes. Some will tell you no. I'm not going to tell you either way. If it's the case, in one thought in my head is like, if it's the case that basically a lot of paper hands leave during the bear market, meaning the APY will start to go up for holders. And if they can hold out long enough and build their stack of Ohm, Time, Klima, or whatever it is you're in on a good project, right? Not just maybe just some kind of like half-assed Ohm fork clone. If you can do that, you may see a massive stack grow in the back end. But again, I don't really know because it hasn't been tested yet. Okay, so the important thing is to hodl onto your blue chip cryptos and your best algorithmic rebasing tokens like Ohm through inevitable bear markets. You will continue to compound your crypto despite this. In fact, the wisest ones are dollar cost averaging and buying more of their favorite while the sky is falling. Yeah, I mean, if you have strong conviction in Olympus DAO, Time Wonderland, this could be a great strategy. So just a couple strategies, ways to prepare, right, for potential DeFi bear market. 3-3 staking on, Olympus DAO and all these different protocols. Again, we don't really know yet if these protocols can withstand the pressure of the bear market. It may be an amazing strategy. Dollar cost averaging in, or DCA, right? Like basically buying dips throughout the entire bear market so that you come out in the bull market on top. Stable coins, another great strategy for a lot of people. Pretty easy to go from Ohm into a stable coin, holding Frax, holding USDC, starting to take out positions that you have right now, putting them in. If that's something that if you're worried about an incoming bear market, hey, if you think that the music is just going to go on forever, do your thing, right? Yield farming and staking. finding other maybe stablecoin yield farming pools that are giving back like 10, 20, or 100% APY a year if you feel like that may be a little bit safer. A good strategy, delta neutral strategies, where you're essentially hedging your bets on long and short positions, so that you're trying to essentially catch both sides of the wave. Precious metals, right? These typically do very well, or they hold up pretty well, I would say, during bear markets. From my understanding, again, I'm not an analyst. I'm not an economist, and I'm certainly not a precious metal expert. I will leave a link below, by the way, to a program where you can get into gold IRAs and things like that. Real estate, I'm not a big real estate guy. Don't own any, don't know a ton about it. Real estate being relatively stable through big wild ups and down swings of the market. But let's take a little look at this one. This was also mentioned on Alpha Only's channel, a really great channel. There's a cool company that called Hedge Plus that has just put out essentially a wait list. So I don't know much about this. It looks just to me, it just looks like more insane, like DeFi, like Ponzi-nomics, just earn tons of money while everything is going down. I don't really know, but you can see if I go over to their page, Hedge Plus just released. They don't even have a website available right now. Literally, it's just like a Medium blog post, a Twitter, maybe a Discord. But what they're doing is essentially creating a strategy for people to hodl through the bear market and to actually earn money by essentially hedging bets. So first off, what is a hedge? An investment that is made with the intention of reducing the risk of adverse price movements in an asset. Normally, a hedge consists of taking an offsetting or opposite position in a related security. In general, a hedging strategy usually involves taking opposing positions on an asset, long and short, similar to the mirror delta neutral, basically. However, they go on to say the downside is that it also weakens your gains. So essentially, like in my mind, why not just hang out in stable coins, right? Basically. Maybe you can earn a little bit more on a delta neutral. I don't know. I've never tried that. But hedge is essentially trying to achieve what delta neutral can't by utilizing the Anchor yield protocol, right? So I don't know a ton about Anchor, so do your own research there. Anchor protocol earns transaction fees from bonded proof of stake assets such as BLUNA and BETH and returns an approximately 20% APR yield on UST deposits. So they're using the Anchor protocol to create a delta neutral hedge position strategy, essentially. This is further optimized through a 2x leverage mechanism of a sister strategy vault. So this is where it starts to get pretty crazy. Like, let me see if I can blow that up. So a 1-year deposit scenario. And by the way, they have a wait list right now. I got on the wait list just to kind of see what I could see. I don't necessarily have any intention of using this. It's just too early. I don't know enough about it. But essentially, the scenario that they're trying to call out is that essentially if the bull continues and price stays the same, with the collateral of 10,000, you have a protected 9,200 amount, and your value should go up to around 12,000 with a 25.5% APR. But if the price goes down 50%, essentially the bear market, with that 5,000 collateral, you have a protected 9,200, and your value should essentially stay the same or even go up a little bit with a no loss of 9.16% APR. I don't fully understand exactly I don't exactly understand how the protocol works on the back end, but there are starting to be these different DeFi protocols that are actually built and designed to help people weather the bear market. Very untested, in my mind. If you're very risk averse, stables, precious metals, Olympus, time, a lot of these things feel safer probably. But if you're more of the degen type, you might definitely want to try to take a look at some of these. And who knows, maybe they'll have like an airdrop or something coming up for early users. So a lot, a lot of speculation, a lot going on. If you actually just go into, for example, the Olympus DAO Discord, and let's move over here, and you just search for bear market, you can see that a lot of people are starting to talk about this. People are starting to say bear market soon. Do you plan to hold your own stack long term, including through a bear market? You can see just people just don't know really how to treat this asset yet. One person says, I think more people will flock to Olympus in a bear market. It seems like a potential safe haven. I'm not going to back that statement necessarily. Another really important point to consider here, I think the risk here is always just the continued development and progress. Because, yeah, you're right, given enough time, you'll still be profitable, even if it goes through a bear market or huge downturn. And what he's basically saying is the protocol, is the DAO, is the dev team still active building something amazing? And that's where I think you have to be a little bit nervous about some of these forks that are unproven, and they're like just launching into this crazy FOMO hype during potentially during a new downswing, or during the end of the bull market, or just in a heavily diluted market where there's tons of these forks and nobody, the money's just starting to bleed out. So on the ones that are truly building something great with a long-term vision, and they're not just copycats, then those could be safer bets for sure. Some people in here are just super hype still. Some people think we're entering a bear market. There's no bear market. Bitcoin's going to go to 80,000. Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. Yeah, I think the best thing for all of you guys out there is starting to create some kind of exit plan, okay? Because if you believe that this will just go on forever and that these Ponzi-nomic tokens are just going to print money for you like endlessly, it's probably not going to happen, okay? Like, I'm definitely as bullish as anybody on DeFi and all these projects, but I don't believe for a second that you're just going to be able to rebase through all of these tokens through a bear market and come out the other side necessarily a millionaire. Pick your winners, pick the ones you have conviction in, get some exposure into stable, get some exposure into ETH and Bitcoin. Do your own research, of course. So guys, I promise to always try to come onto this channel and bring some kind of balanced outlook to all of this stuff. Even though I'm bullish and I have my own interests, I don't want any of you guys out there to get wrecked. Make sure, by the way, if you like this content and you want to keep getting it dropped on your phone, I'm not going to always share this kind of like boohoo, sad bear market type of content. Mostly I'm pretty bullish, and I'll share cool projects with you guys, cool alpha drops. Just make sure to hit like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on. And if you want to get first access and free lifetime access to my Discord that I'll be dropping soon, enter the dungeon, and you want to get those 2 special roles automatically attached to your Discord account, Archmage and Cleric. Cleric is one that will be added to your Discord user, and it may give you special access to a project that I'll release in the future, or it may not. Just go to dungeon.fyi, drop your email address in there. Everybody on that email address is going to get first crack at the Discord before I close it down and it becomes a paid subscription. Guys, so I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope it gave you some ideas, and what I really hope to accomplish today is basically just to start giving you guys ideas about what to do in the inevitable coming bear market. It's gonna come. Don't FOMO your life savings into all this stuff. Make small bets here and there if you want, DYOR. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay safe out there. Hopefully the next video will be much more positive, happy times, good time to gen ape outlook stuff. All right, talk to you guys soon.